Well, not a super productive night tonight. One in. When I warmed him up, I thought he warmed up good. When I scored him down, I thought he felt really good. But he fell off the gate and was quite a ways back at the quarter pole. I mean, he doesn't want to run, so if he breaks rule number one, either he's hurting a little bit or you didn't do your job right. But here's a horse that in the qualifier in the Meadows did cross over to the front, no problem. So I'm wondering, why is he falling off the gate? There's a few things that can cause that. Your first indicator would likely be feet, although you would think a horse on the end of his mile would be more pacey, and he wasn't. I'll have to investigate that. I can tell you his biggest problem. He's raced, tonight was his second start in 32 days. 33 days. Second start. In November 1st he raced. He was a winner. That's how long ago it was. Mike Wilder won with this horse November 1st. Then I was third with him last week, or 2 weeks ago, on the 19th of November, and then he got to race tonight. That's the problem with Vehement. You can't do that to a young horse. It's had 4 lifetime starts. And that was spanning from June. Horse wants to do his work. We just have to give him the tools, and not racing doesn't help. So you can see now, I think this is actually a good time to regroup a little bit. Let the racing, a couple of those claiming series, the one that Francie is in right now. A couple of them are filling up the boxes here at Northfield Park. We had those 2 days off last week at the Meadows. We'll take another week or two to stabilize everything. But once it does, we'll see our horses get in a little more regularly. And at that point, we won't have... I'm hoping to get Purple People Eater raced again before the sale. That's in 2 weeks. Not even 2 weeks. So hopefully get her raced, also eligible on Saturday, it must be. So the following Saturday she'll race. And that'll be her last start for us. She'll be going to the sale as a brood bear. Well, or as racehorse, I suppose. Both. But we'll be able to get everything stabilized, get the horses back going. We have a number of horses on both sides of the border getting close to racing. So my hope is that when all these series end and the race and the boxes start filling up normally again, both in Northfield and the Meadows, that we'll be able to get horses in on a more regular basis, because it is a problem. I just need to take note of these things. These aren't rare. This happens every year. These little waves, right? We want a big heater going into the first part of November. Sell some horses and things kind of settle down a bit. It's tough to get them in, and then into Christmas time, you're trying to get them tight. You can't keep a horse like Vehement tight training him. I don't care how fast or how hard you train him. It's very hard to keep a very immature, physically immature 3-year-old tight off of, you're looking at 12, 13, 2 weeks. So it's just hard to do. And then when that's followed by a 2-week layoff before then, in his case right here, 18 days. Well, when 18 days is a race and then 14 days is a race, that's what you're going to get. I moved him. I was kicking myself halfway down the lane. Corey Kreiser was behind me. I moved 3 deep and he slid into a blind switch. Vehement should have bolted past him. Had he been tight, he would have been. I'm sure he would have. It's not his work ethic or his attitude. Certainly not his concentration. He might have looked rough coming off the car, but he could have just as easily run. That was the best he could do going to the quarter pole, which brings me back to the original statement. Why? Felt great warming up. He felt great scoring down. Did not feel that great coming off the car. Why? Is it the cork? We just put cork on him? Is it his shoes? Is it his feet? First place, we're going to look at his feet, then his stifles. Probably Baycocks him next week a little bit. Try to get him back in 7 days. So I know 5th sucks, but your 5th beat, a length and a quarter? Especially since he came from another zip code at the quarter pole. But he's trying. He's trying to get it done. He's growing up, he's filling out, he's becoming a better horse. We'll likely have, unless we get to a point where we can't get in, or which I don't think will happen. I think we're somewhat past the precipice of that mountain, so to speak. And unless we come to a place where he just can't do, which I don't see happening, he can race well in the maiden claimer once we get him in there. I think you're going to see him get better and better and better. You know who it's not fair to compare him with Casanova Hall because he had a great stake season. Speaking of Casanova Hall, we were going to race him with that aluminum shoe, and the other one, I said, we'll just race him like that again. Can't tomorrow. Ton of snow coming. So I'd said to Jason, you know what, just roll the dice and put lots of cork on mushroom bars up front. Make sure you cork them up behind for tomorrow. I just don't see him being able to get through. There's supposed to be a lot of snow coming tomorrow night here, and I just don't see him getting through that track, punching through to the surface underneath with aluminum shoes turned around backwards up front. I just don't see that happening. So we're going to go to something a tiny bit more conventional. One that helps his feet, plus with the proper amount of cork on, should be able to go to all of the track. So although it's race 16 and the tail end of a blizzard tomorrow night, we're going to try and get him and Denali Dio raced best we can. Might have to take all the aluminum shoes off Denali Dio and re-cork them tomorrow. Jason said, well, he'll be all right with aluminum. I said, no, we're going to have to cork him up tomorrow. So that's what happened tonight. That's what's going on tomorrow. We still have all our mainstays. The ones are getting in Dayton fairly regularly, but 3 Point Blue Chip didn't get in, but he raced 4 or 5 weeks in a row. Yo Mister did not get in, so we put him in at Dayton. That's our only horse. We put him in so we didn't only have one horse, and we still ended up with only one horse. Anyway, all this will settle. We're through the worst of it now. I would say my prediction is by a week before Christmas, or 2 weeks before Christmas, everything will be back to normal. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Get some training to do tomorrow. Ava had a little dance tonight. So she came out to the races with me. We're on our way back home right now to Brunswick. I hope you guys had a good night. If you're my partner in Vehement, don't worry. A number of things can explain what you just saw tonight. First and foremost, the fact that it was the second start in 34 days. 33 days. So with that, I'll let you go. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We got a lot of training to do tomorrow before the snow comes. Back to work at the barn tomorrow morning.